this one expecting to try to snipe him with something unique, something unusual.
Yeah, I totally think so. And I mean, he could even play straight up and just go for the late game on this map too. I mean, swarmos are fantastic on this map.
By the way, look at SOS's record versus Zerg.
Yeah.
19-5. That's nearly a 75% record against the best players in the world.
And I bet like 90% of them are cannon rushes, man. This guy, he's crazy.
He is just such a great PvZ player.
This season, though, he has not played against a Zerg. Something to note. So we'll have to wait and see how his form is against Zerg. Obviously, losing to Leenock's teammate Curious in recent times in 2 best-of-3s. Definitely says something.
Yeah.
Makes a statement.
I also want to say Curious's EVP is also really, really top form. I'm always impressed by his
He
EVP.
loves the Swarm host, man.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this playful song.
Yeah, Leenock not going with a Taiwanese song this time.
Oh, so they get to choose their songs?
Yes, actually. I know you've been gone for a little while, but all the players actually get to choose all their songs, and sometimes they change from week to week. In fact, we saw Life change his song. I think Leenock changed his song as well.
Oh, that'd be a lot of fun. I'd have a lot of fun with that.
So, as you guys can see, not a ton of stats for Leenock in Pro League, but he is undefeated this season, and he is 2-1 versus Protoss. So
2-0 versus Protoss this season.
Yeah, so only played 1 game last season, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Well, he was living in Taiwan for the most part, right?
Yeah.
So he only got to come to Korea like for a little while and play in that match and go back home to Taiwan.
Well, guys, let's see if Leenock can pull this off. If Leenock is able to beat SOS here on this 2-player map, StarTale takes a 2-0 lead. Let's find out if SOS can bring it back. Down here in the bottom right, the generic player, it's SOS, $, big monies. And up to the top left, Leenock-topus.
The Leenock-topus with purple hair this season.
Yeah, you know, it's
so much better than the red.
It's definitely, I like the red too, but I feel like I'm really feeling the purple right now.
I don't like the red, man. You look like a tomato.
Well, you know, I mean, this sort of hairstyle thing is somewhat uncharacteristic for Leenock to actually go for something that's, he either was basically red or black. I mean, this is the most unique I think we've ever seen him go.
I think it actually suits him as well.
It really does, and a lot of people also talk about that in Korea. When I did the Star League group selection with Sejong, there was a lot of talk actually about Leenock's hair, and the Korean fans actually they're like me. They really like to talk about the hairstyles. They're really following that really
just
closely.
Like you, Wolf. Wow.
They're like me, man. When I asked about Myungsik's hair, all the Koreans were like, yeah, that was a really good question. I'm like, really? Because I was kind of just messing around.
How would I look with purple hair, Wolf? What do you think?
Gonna have to say no, probably.
Really?
Maybe if you like had some of your hair purple.
Only some? Like streaks of it?
Streaks, or like maybe, I don't know. I would really have to see that. Someone's got to Photoshop that up. By the way, we have a Forge for SOS. That's terrifying.
Forge versus Hatch first. It's going to be sadness for Leenock. Unless he can defend it pretty well with drones. Obviously, he's going to be on the lookout because it is SOS. He knows that SOS loves to cannon rush.
Yeah, you know, he doesn't have a spotting overlord. I mean, he sees the probe, right?
Yeah, he will see the probe.
He has to send a drone down. He's sending it now.
Yep. And I wouldn't be surprised if the next building is that pool.
He's gonna have to
defend like a god.
Yeah, he's gonna do it no matter what. SOS would put this even if he was planning on going Nexus first. Okay, second drone is down. He made extra drones with this too. It's not a quick pool follow-up. There it is. He has to pull down 4 more drones. No second probes. This is not like a crazy cannon out of SOS.
Look where the second probe is, Wolf. It's in the natural, so he's actually not gonna commit to it at all.
Yep.
And there
mind
goes the
games.
Yep. Well, it's SOS. You always want to do this mind game every single time because people are scared to death of this guy's cannons.
Just like I said, you know, he was going to make the pylon no matter what. If he was doing a gateway expand, he would have made a pylon because his opponents have to take him so seriously. Leenock, though, as soon as he sees with his Overlord there's a Nexus coming up, pulls the rest of those drones out. Leaves 2 just to make sure he can get that pylon cleaned up ASAP and to make sure that SOS doesn't have any extra free supply for that period of time. Oh, actually leaves it.
Well, I think the biggest fear for him is the fact that SOS can come back and plant down a cannon after he's already built the Nexus and maybe a cannon in his natural. Well, he doesn't even have to build a cannon in the natural for a while because it was hatched first. But there's always a threat there, so you damage it enough to, like, if he commits to any sort of cannon, like, you can just kill it.
Well, it's definitely going to go down now without a hitch. And because SOS made the extra pile on home because he had to anyways, it doesn't end up being a big deal. It's not like it's giving any extra vision to SOS where he's like, oh, I see you made Zerglings.
He's not droning. That fool, he cannot kill me, I have a cannon.
Well, this is just going to go into a standard mid-game now.
And everything's going to normalize. Not really much damage done to Leenock. At the same time, not much money spent for SOS. So it will progress to the standard kind of Zerg versus Forge fast expand, which can be interesting because it's something we don't see that often anymore.
Right. Now, I wonder, since we haven't seen SOS play this matchup televised in a little while, how he's playing this. Is he liking the San Gateway type pressure style, which has seen make a bit of a larger comeback in Korea, especially with these return of these European Protosses, or European Korean Protosses, like coming back from WCS Europe, for example,
right.
San and MC, or is he going to go down the Stargate route like we've seen him do in the past, or is he going to do one of these more, as we can see here, robotics-oriented builds where sometimes we see sentry drops or even just sentry pressure on this map?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing sentry pressure with the Warp Prism. That's always a great sort of a build to open up with. You're not going to take much damage. You can potentially do a lot of damage with decent force fields, force out a lot of units, and create awkward situations. And while you're doing that, you can obviously go into a Immortal in, probably not on this map. You can go into that third base. He's already got a Forge, so we can get a +1 very, very easily to defend that third base against any sort of speedling timing attack that Leenock might want to do.
Yeah, nat to nat by air on this map is like pretty short, and the natural is somewhat exposed for sentry drops. Sometimes you see players drop just 2 sentries, force field, maybe kill a drone, then leave.
Yeah, Leenock scouts it, but I don't know why he turned that Overlord around. There's no way you can escape a Stalker like that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess it might keep it alive a little bit longer, but it's not going to be able to confirm that's a Warp Prism, which is kind of annoying.
Yeah, it's safe to assume, I would have to say. Very safe to assume. Like, obviously, if you're going to go Robo first, you obviously have some plan for it. Yeah,
and look at that. Already the Spore in the exact location I was talking about for the drop earlier.
Yeah, fantastic place for it.
Oh, he's bringing a probe. He could make cannons. We've seen this before. I'm not crazy. I'm not making this up. This has happened before.
Would he? Would he actually? I think
that's got to be what this is for, right? He's going to go around to the main base on that edge and maybe make some cannons and do a big warp and then do a follow-up after he forces units. I think that's the plan here. I'm theory crafting.
Okay, so he wants to go for the ramp. I think maybe he wants to go for the ramp.
Yeah, he's going to come around the edge, drop off creep, can phase in some cannons.
Well, Leenock should be ready for this, and he should have stuff on the ramp because there's no excuse not to. When you know it's a Robo like that.
Oh, what? Never mind. I guess he's just going to make a Twilight Council.
All right, this is cute as well. He's also making Immortals behind us and getting +1. I wonder if we're going to see sort of a Blink Immortal timing it a bit later.
He has 4 gates with this, too. I mean, they're not ready yet, so he can't do a big warp in, but look at this scout by Leenock.
Yeah, Leenock's completely ready for this. And yeah, I feel like if we're not going to see a third base go down anytime soon, it's going to be like Blink, Stalker, Immortal. And we do see this player that comes to mind more than anyone else, just from pure experience alone, would be like Puck. Puck loves this kind of style, staying on 2 base, going for Blink, Stalker, Immortal. Can work once you get that bigger ball. Like, obviously, your army is incredibly cost efficient. And when you have Blink and when you have like +2 as well. But instead, we are going to see
crazy
DT as well.
This is actually crazy. Okay, so let's recap here. He's proxied a Dark Shrine with the Warp Prism phase mode to make that faster in a hidden location where no Overlords are going to scout it. The DTs are going to be delayed, but if he doesn't have an Overseer, that could be a big problem. He might be able to slip through while Leenock isn't paying attention. Could be for Archons too. I mean, what do you think?
It could be. I feel like he'd want to try and do damage with the DTs before he goes for an Archon sort of follow-up, perhaps. And like this Immortal timing is also very wonky. But we don't see Leenock with many units just yet either.
Well, he's got a ton of Lings and Roaches at the natural of SOS, but SOS can recall home. He's already got 3 cannons up at his natural to help buy time. And he doesn't have a force field ready. Okay, there he goes. He's going to need more than that, though. He's only got 1 lone sentry here. And already Ling's starting to stream in here. 2 cannons on power temporarily here. And there's the recall. He has to come home. But those DTs, let's see how much they can get done. The Warp Prism, unfortunately, is not still at his base, but he does have 2 pylons on the map. Could split those DTs quite nicely here.
Yeah, he could, but I mean, he's already He's already tier 2. He already has the lair. He's got spores at 2 bases already. He's going to try and run into the main base, I think, and this might be his best shot at doing damage.
Yep, Leenock doesn't see. He has no idea. He's not going to be expecting this.
Oh, I think he's noticed. I think he must have noticed by now.
No Overseers on the morph.
Oh, no.
Okay, he has to know now.
Well, if he doesn't know now, then he's just blind and deaf, man.
Okay, DT is actually over here. Going to target the hatch. Oh, there is detection because of that fear of the Warp Prism and you know, perhaps Oracles earlier. So, not a critical amount of damage done here, but an annoying amount of damage. 6 drones.
It's decent damage, and we can see a decent follow-up from SOS, but he hasn't gone for that 3rd base just yet. He's going to put it down now, but man, it is late.
It's super late. I don't know. Is +2 on the way? Actually, no.
No, not yet. He's going into 2 Stargate, actually, which is very interesting as well.
What's your thoughts on that? Do you think he's scared of a Mutalisk switch that he hasn't scouted?
I think so. I think it must be. But, I mean, he scouted the main base. He did see that it's only 4 gases for Leenock, so the Muta switch would be pitiful if it was to happen.
SOS is just breaking all the rules right now. He's like, I'm gonna do everything.
He's just mind destroying Leenock at this point. I mean, like, he's just mind gaming like nothing else.
This is like
Void Ray charge lot. Okay.
This is not contemporary PvZ that we're watching right now.
This is hipster PV. This is hipster PvZ, man.
Yeah.
Anything goes.
I mean, the SOS has been known for his mind games recently, and I think we're just seeing a little extra piece of that right now.
I like it, man. Like, he's just freestyling, essentially.
Yeah, that's actually the best way to describe it. Very well said. Well, Leenock has burrow movement now, and he does have a very healthy roach count. There are not enough Void Rays to help deal with this yet.
He can go for that 3rd. He should go for that 3rd. And he should possibly transition into Hydra. I mean, looking at this weird composition. But, I mean, if he goes into Hydra, then, like, it's going to give SOS the ability to go into Storm, perhaps. But, I mean, still, we see SOS on 2 bases this late into the game. 13 minutes in.
You know what would be amazing for Leenock is if he found that Twilight Council. Could have done so much for him. That would have really messed this game up for SOS.
Ooh, getting this Forge is very important as well.
Yeah, that's really nice. I feel like tempo-wise, SOS is just miles behind because he doesn't have a 3rd base. He's struggling to hold that. He lost his +2. His tech has been shown.
That +2 is very important, by the way.
Yeah. Leenock's about to have his own +2. And he's got a Spire ready. All he needs to do is just keep denying that 3rd base as best as he can. Keep the pressure on.
I kind of hope we don't see a Muta switch. I think he's gearing up for it, though, judging by his bank so far. He's going to have like 9, 10 Mutas able to be built. And it'll give him like a bit of map control, a bit of harassment early. But you can switch into 2-gate Phoenix at the snap of a finger. So,
okay, he's going to come over here, this time attacking the natural first. But there's already a few Void Rays, very well positioned. SOS knows there's no Hydras on the map right now. Bigger concern is about to be Mutalisk, but let's see if he can force a cancel on the third base. I don't think so.
No,
There's
like
too many Sentries and Immortals here.
Sentries, Immortals, and Charge Lots.
He has to trade if he's going to do it, and he just doesn't have enough.
I mean, his next best thing is to get those Mutas out, to shut down the Void Rays, get rid of the Void Rays, reset that count. And it's obviously going to force SOS to go into Phoenix, which he is now actually chronoing out Phoenix as we speak. He might actually have enough in time before Mutas can really do any damage. He's identified it already, and he's already making the counter, and Leenock is not using his Mutas yet.
He's hiding them, which is, could have been the right choice if it wasn't scouted, but he's already preparing.
There was a DT in the main base, just seeing everything that goes down that ramp.
Luckiest Warp Prism alive, by the way. Just survives the Mutalisk on move command. Well, these Void Rays are going to buy a ton of time here. And even though Mutalisk can beat Void Rays in a straight-up fight, they're not going to fight them straight up. The Void Rays are going to hide behind this Nexus and Gateway units, Sentries, for example, Nexus Cannon. And here come those first 4 Phoenixes. I mean, no matter what you do as a Zerg player, against any top-level pro, they're going to be able to out-micro your Mutalisk with Phoenixes. They have moving shot. The range got buffed in Heart of the Swarm.
Yeah, it's pretty much being shut down at this point. But we are seeing Corruptors being made, so I kind of get the impression that Leenock wants to stay on Mutas, stay on that air, just go for the Corrupt counter to the Phoenix, and hope that he can do enough damage to kind of warrant it, and maybe try and do damage before too many Phoenix are out with the Annie and Pulse Crystal upgrade.
Yeah, I think he's really also relying on the fact that this third base for SOS was kind of late. Well, actually, a little bit more than kind of late. He has his own 4th gas up for so long. He now has a 5th base of gas.
Yeah, he's on 10 gas. This is perfect for Mutas, perfect for this air style. It's just about him finding the damage with it, finding the proper engagements. He cannot be caught out, obviously. He's got to take a very good fight. He's got to stay away from those Void Rays because they will melt the Corruptors like nothing else.
Yeah. Can you check the Void Ray count actually right now? I think he's got like 7, right? 5.
5. And 9 Phoenix so far, and no more just yet. Looks like we are going to see SOS kind of gear up for a fight.
Yeah, he knows that his comp is in a situation where if he can take the right engagement, he could actually kill a base.
Oh, no. That's a horrible sort of situation for Leenock. Yeah. Running into the Phoenix?
He can't use his Corruptors to protect the Mutalisks because the Void Rays are already here. This is exactly the engagement that SOS wants. He has an attack at his third base here, but he might just recall some of his army home.
He's warping in DT, which is the perfect response. There is no Overseer. I think the Roaches just get killed. They can't. I don't think they're going to get they're not going to get the Nexus.
Yeah, there's plenty of cannons here. Oh, Leenock is in a really awkward spot now. Anion Pulse Crystals isn't even done, and when that gets done, Phoenixes can lock lasers with the Corruptors. There's that Photon Overcharge. Or rather, I guess I should say Prismatic Alignment.
Prismatic Alignment, same thing. It looks like the Corruptors will win at the end, but guess what? Corruptors don't kill the massive Zealot, DT, and Immortal on the ground.
Yep. This is just going to get wrecked, this base. He has sentries as well. If he tries to use Burrow Movement, he just loses too much time. Burrow Movement is not really something you can utilize in a fight like this. The Zealots over here already wiped this base out of drones. And again, a really nice spot here for this army. It looks like he eventually did break through at the third base, but I don't think that's relevant anymore considering the damage that SOS is getting done here.
Well, if you can find a way to deal with this army, I think Leenock still has a shot. Because he did get rid of all the air. He can go back into mutas if he wants to.
There's no Mothership Core with this army either.
Yeah.
I thought there was one.
He got rid of all the probes at the third base, so at the same time, SOS's economy is kind of in shambles at the same sort of way that Leenock's is. And Leenock, he's finding kills on the 2 Immortals. There's 1 more left.
Well, I completely misspoke on that Burrow Movement. Ended up being quite useful for him here.
Yeah, definitely gave him a way back in. And he is going back into mutas now, which I think is a perfect response considering how many Corruptors he has.
He killed all the Void Rays. And, you know, he has 12 Corruptors on the map right now to utilize with this to help protect against a small count of Phoenixes. Now, +3 is about to finish for SOS. But yeah, Leenock actually turned that around a lot better than I thought he was going to be. I thought he was a dead man.
Yeah, he's I mean, like, it was his natural, you know. He had 5 bases. He's on 4 now. He managed to keep his natural alive. He needs to drone it a little bit more, but he's really been focusing on that Muta switch, which is going to do a lot.
Great pickup on that drone to deny that base from being remade. Nexus Cannon goes down. There's that Mothership Core. Where have you been all this whole time? Sitting at home ready for Nexus Cannons. Phoenix is trying to find a Mutalisks here, too. That actually would work out really nice for them.
And we do see 3 Gate Phoenix going now, so he's going to try and make a big comeback with the Phoenix. Could be a good idea if he can get that, keep that third base alive and running. But we are seeing those Roaches move towards it.
Leenock has made this Roach army work so long into this game. Just always threatening those backstabs.
Yeah, that counterattack he did really kept him in the game. I mean, if the third base were left unchecked, we'd see SOS in a much better position.
And what's really cool is there's already upgrades for the Swarmos that are coming out. There's no Colossus tech, and not yet any reason to believe that he should make that right now, because there's so many Corruptors out. He's not concerned about making Colossi for ground armies, and then the Swarmos might catch him off guard a little bit here. 5 more on the way.
Yeah, I like this change as well. I mean, he has seen that there's been another investment into those Phoenix, and he already has that Corruptor account, so he can protect just about anything on the ground. Why not go into Swarm Host? Why not make this a long game for everyone to enjoy?
There's not even a Bay on the map, if I'm not mistaken, for Colossi. He's making a carrier. I think that's a misclick.
No, man, carrier pride, dude. Coming back. It's not Legacy of the Void just yet.
Not yet. I was watching some of those Total Biscuit tournaments, but it's not quite time for carriers. They haven't quite arrived. Coming soon,
and
TM.
This is a very nice amount of Swarm Hosts. We are seeing him move out. He has scouted the army. He knows exactly where it is.
Yeah, this is really tough for SOS. He's not going to be able to engage into this with all these free Swarmos.
No, he does not have an army for Locusts, that's for sure.
But he has to engage here, and this is just going to be unfavorable, no matter which way you look at it. Now his Zealots are caught behind force fields.
I think, do we actually have Enduring Locust upgraded? No, we do not. He forgot Enduring Locust upgrade. So it's going to take a lot more time for Leenock to really get anything done with these Swarm Hosts.
Yeah. That Observer almost got sniped, which made this even a bigger problem because it doesn't have detection to help deal with those if he loses that.
Well, man, he's got He's got 14 Swarm Hosts. He's making more, and he doesn't have Enduring Locusts. Watch this. They're all going to die before he even sees another unit on the map. This is a big problem for Leenock, and I hope he realizes soon.
Yeah, the observers point that out to you guys right now as well. The Koreans starting to pick up on this as well.
Look how fast they die. You better be like,
He's actually making interceptors on that carrier, trying to make the best of perhaps a mistake here. I want to point out as well that there's no AoE damage still. He's trying to answer for this with Void Rays alone. With some Archons, he wants to, it looks like, go into Storm, but that's so far away from where we're at right now in this game.
Eventually, if he gets enough Void Rays, it can be a good thing. Obviously, he's only fighting against Corruptors for the anti-air. But still, it's still a while away.
And SOS is running out of money. His Nat is mined out. His third base, if this siege up continues, is free money for those Locusts.
He needs to stop trying to fight the army and just kill that third base. Because once he's killed the third base, there is just about no economy left for SOS. That's all he has to do at this point.
Yep, and he's going to go for it. At least he starts to. The Enduring Locust, the missing upgrade here is really hurting him, because if he had those Locusts still fighting, I think the Roaches would have had enough time.
100%. 100%.
This is actually an engagement that SOS might be able to take. Leenock has to pick up and walk away.
This is not good. Don't bury them again. He needs to keep running. He does not have enough time to spawn.
He wants one more wave. He wants it so badly.
Man.
And it's going to cost him big here. And here we go. There's that prismatic alignment. We're going to have an engagement. Even the carrier at the back doing some extra work here with those interceptors. And the Archons getting close, getting some of that AoE damage down here.
Yeah.
Does not have quite enough army to finish this off. Meanwhile, SOS getting a ton of kills with DTs. 15 kills during this. Is SOS going to turn this around?
I don't know. Not if he keeps fighting like this. And GG is called. And Leenock wins, man.
Yeah, that was a really weird game.
That was a pretty abrupt ending. I kind of knew he was whittling him down, and like there wasn't much left for SOS.
He had no more AoE he could make. You know, those are the last of the Archons he had that were about to get killed by those Locusts. Phoenix is eventually not able to tango with those Corruptors anymore.
Yeah, really interesting. I was really interested. I kind of thought the game might keep going because of the damage, the economic damage that SOS was doing with the DT, but still wasn't enough. SOS taps out, and my prediction was right, Wolf.
You did it.
I did it, man. It was me and Kanata, right?
You and Daehyun, actually.
Daehyun.
I am 0-2 today.